This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming.
So SMGs are probably considered to be one of the best weapon types in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel across all of the playable characters. I think this is because SMGs in general have pretty good damage, fire rate, and magazine size. However, without further ado, this is the top 15 best SMGs in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. Number 15. The Fast Talker. This is actually a really good SMG available to the player in Borderlands the pre-sequel that supports an insanely high fire rate. I really like using this thing on Athena to stack Maelstrom stacks with either a fire or shock version. There's actually a fairly good chance that you may not have heard of this gun simply because you can't farm for it, and it is exclusive to the Tales from the Borderlands Season Pass, where it can only be obtained one time. Really, honestly, that is a shame. Number 14. The Bone Shredder / Meat Grinder. So these two guns are pretty much the same thing. The difference is that the Bone Shredder is exclusive to Borderlands 2, while the Meat Grinder is exclusive to Borderlands the pre-sequel. If you manage to get a slag version of the Bone Shredder for Borderlands 2, you can use it as a cheaper version of the Slaga SMG. Otherwise, it has 3 projectiles per shot at the cost of 2 ammo per shot and can come in all elements. Number 13. The Yellow Jacket. So the Yellow Jacket always comes in shock and is kind of bizarre. As described by the Borderlands wiki, the Yellow Jacket has projectiles that gradually pick up speed until they become invisible after a certain distance. While the projectiles are invisible, they continue to accelerate until they hit an enemy. It's also got a bizarre visual aesthetic for a Hyperion weapon, as it's completely blue, while Hyperion colors are traditionally yellow. The Yellow Jacket, of course, is exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 12. E-Tech SMGs. Along with E-Tech rocket launchers, I think E-Tech SMGs are really the only non-unique E-Tech weapons that are worth your time. E-Tech SMGs have big projectiles and usually cost 2 ammo per shot to fire, and since they come in a lot of different varieties, in my opinion, some are better than others. My favorite version to use are the Hyperion Plasma Casters, as they can deal a lot of damage to a very specific area in a short period of time. I definitely recommend keeping one in your arsenal. E-Tech weapons are exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 11. The Avenger. For the most part, the Avenger is just a superior TDR SMG. However, I think the best part of the Avenger is its regenerating ammo ability. It's a shame that in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel that regenerating ammo weapons were mostly done away with, as this ability is extremely useful outside of combat to replenish your stock ammo count. It's also worth mentioning that the Avenger in particular, if you're skilled enough, is capable of the strongest TDR reload in Borderlands 2, and again, the Avenger is exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 10. The Hellfire. A returning classic from Borderlands 1, the Hellfire is back in both Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. While there are better SMGs out there, and the Hellfire is only in fire element, the Hellfire is an excellent SMG that has pretty good damage over time effects. In Borderlands 2, the Hellfire can benefit from grenade damage bonuses, also making it really useful on Axton and Krieg as well. Number 9. The Cheat Code. The Cheat Code is the closest we will get to the bitch from Borderlands 2 in terms of having a legendary Hyperion SMG in Borderlands the pre-sequel that comes in all elements. And really the best way to describe the Cheat Code is that it is easier to get than the bitch / Fatale, with less magazine size and a special effect that allows your shots not to consume ammo while in fight for your life. It's also pretty easy to get, assuming you can beat the Claptastic Voyage DLC. Obviously, the cheat code is exclusive to Borderlands the pre-sequel. Number 8. The Lascaux. The Lascaux is a really nice non-elemental SMG that you can get in Borderlands 2. It fires 2 projectiles per shot and can be acquired very early on in your playthrough. It's also got a pretty decent fire rate as well. You'll notice that the Lascaux skin is a reference to the cave systems in France of the same name, which contain Paleolithic paintings of bulls. Now, the Lascaux is exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 7, the Bitch/Fatale. The Bitch SMG comes in all elements and is exclusive to Borderlands 2, while the Fatale SMG is exclusive to the pre-sequel and only comes in Cryo element. I really like both of these SMGs for their ability to reach max accuracy very quickly and their high critical hit damage. I do think it's weird that the Fatale only comes in Cryo element though, as the Bitch came first in the sense that Borderlands 2 came out first. Either way, both guns are pretty good and are definitely recommended. Number 6, the Torrent. While the Emperor is kind of bad and mediocre at higher difficulties in Borderlands 2, the Torrent in Borderlands the pre-sequel not only looks cooler than the Emperor, but is actually really powerful as well. It has low burst delay, good damage, nice magazine size, and low recoil. Like some of the other unique guns and weapons in Borderlands the pre-sequel, the Torrent has no movement penalty while aiming down sights. Of course, the Torrent is exclusive to Borderlands the pre-sequel. Number 5, the Slagga. What the Slagga lacks in damage output, it makes up for with its high projectile count and high slag chance. The Slagga is one of the few guns that seems to remain effective regardless of its level, as it's primarily designed to slag enemies to set them up to take more damage, as opposed to primarily dealing damage. The only real flaw with the Slagga is that it doesn't heal you and freeze enemies in place. Since Slag is only in Borderlands 2, the Slagga is also exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 4, the Phrygia. The Phrygia, in my opinion, is one of the best SMGs from both games. The only lousy thing about the Phrygia is that it doesn't heal you. The Phrygia is best described as the cryo version of the Slagga that's significantly easier to acquire, as it's received as a quest reward. This is a great weapon to use with Claptrap's Start with a Bang skill, as you can freeze with the Phrygia and then explode with Start with a Bang and kill pretty much anything in front of you. Because of that, the level of the Phrygia doesn't really matter. The Phrygia is only in Cryo and is exclusive to Borderlands the pre-sequel. Number 3, the Babymaker/IVF. The Babymaker is exclusive to Borderlands 2, while the IVF is exclusive to Borderlands the pre-sequel. Both of these guns actually make kind of lousy SMGs, and their real power comes from the reload itself. Both can spawn up to 2 child versions, which can also explode, dealing even more reload damage. The Babymaker and IVF can come in all elements and are excellent on both Axton and Claptrap, respectively. Number 2, the Tattler. Unlike the Slagga, which is primarily designed to slag enemies, the Tattler is a great weapon to deal a lot of damage and is one of the best SMGs in Borderlands 2 on Maya. That's because the Tattler has high base damage and great ammo consumption, as it fires 3 projectiles at the cost of 1. The only real problem with the Tattler is its accuracy is kind of bad, and the projectiles move fairly slowly when compared to other weapons. The Tattler is exclusive to Borderlands 2. Number 1, the Sandhawk. The Sandhawk is famous for its use with the B-Shield. Once combined with the B-Shield, the Sandhawk becomes a very powerful SMG and possibly the best SMG in the game. It's also very easy to use, as really all you have to do is kind of aim in the general direction of an enemy, fire, and then profit. No critical hits are really required, although they certainly help your damage output. The Sandhawk fires multiple projectiles in a burst that are shaped like flying birds and comes in all elements as well as a non-elemental version. The Sandhawk is exclusive to Borderlands 2. Anyway guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care and I'll see you all next time.